Hello, what's up guys? I'm Kyle from KGR, and this is the 4-inch Jakks Pacific Infinite figure. Now, I got this thing relatively late. I have no idea when this figure came out, but my friend Alex found this at Ross, of all places. So, fan of the week, ladies and gentlemen, Alex, again. Now, originally, I didn't really care about getting this figure because I already had the Tomy version, and we'll compare those two. But I thought this would look good to some of my other figures in the collection. If there's a good villain, I'm gonna buy it in a 4-inch line so I can put it with my other figures. Despite me not really collecting the 4-inch Jakks figures all that much, mainly for space reasons. If I had the space, I would buy every character because they look so great. So with this figure, we get Infinite as well as the Phantom Ruby. This is the first time the Phantom Ruby itself is getting a figure, so that's really cool. And then we get the modern look of the packaging. Then on the back of it, we get to see how articulated he is. He comes with, there's a Cream figure. I wish Cream would come in a 2.5-inch line personally. Then we get Sonic with the skateboard. I really want that skateboard because I want to do a thing with the movie 5-inch figure. That would look really cool. And then we get Infinite as well as a modern Metal Sonic, which the other day we did a classic Metal Sonic. Which, speaking of, let's put him back here because he looks really cool. I like him. I'm happy I got this guy. And plus, he just looks good next to an Android anyway. So yeah. So Infinite with the Phantom Ruby. This mysterious mercenary was once the leader of the Jakks squad that was later hired by Dr. Eggman when they attempted to raid his lair. I'm gonna be real with you, I completely forgot about the Jakks squad, which I feel like you can only really know about if you read the comics, I think. Because they didn't really talk about that all that much in Sonic Forces itself. Which, by the way, the IDW comics are completely underrated. Those things are incredible for Sonic stories that are technically canon now, which is so cool, especially now they have the Sonic Rider stuff. I could go on all day. Let's get back to this. So my friend got this thing for $6. And he also got the Metal Sonic, like the classic Metal Sonic back there, for $7. Go, Alex! So let's open him up and play with him for a little bit. Now let me know in the comments, who are you hunting for right now when it comes to Sonic toy collecting? Because right now I'm still looking for a Neo Metal Sonic. I'm trying to find a 2.5-inch Fang, which I hear has gotten easier over the years, or over the past year, I guess he's been released. And it looks like nothing's tying him down, so getting him out should be a little easy, but it's still gonna be a little loud. But it wasn't awful. Nice. And then Phantom Ruby. Yeah, there it is. Let's get this out of the way. But yeah, Sonic toy hunting. It sure is a hobby, isn't it? And here he is. Like I said, my friend found this at Ross, so if you want to try and find one of these yourself outside of eBay and actually want to stand a chance of not spending a scalper price, go to Ross. You might have some decent luck. So when it comes to his articulation, he has no elbow movement, which is not really surprising because it's a 4-inch Jakks figure. Then you got your knee bend, which, cool. We get details on the bottom of his shoe. I never really realized that he had anything on the bottom of his shoes, but the Infinite sign looks kind of cool. Look at that. The spikes on the back of his head look really cool. Like, Infinite as a whole is such a cool looking figure. I'm honestly really sleeping on these 4-inch figures. These things are so cool. But yeah, this thing looks so much better than I expected. Also, his tail moves. I'm probably not going to move his tail all that much, but like if you need to, like that's an option for you. He's a little top heavy, so you can point his tail a little bit more downwards to like help his balancing a little bit, maybe. No, I completely lied. Yeah, this guy's top heavy. You're kind of screwed. And then you can make him look so menacing by having his hand out. I would do a shot that, you know, looks professional with a backdrop and a turntable and all that stuff, but this thing can't stand up for the life of him. So good luck. But I feel like if you're buying this, it doesn't really matter. You want accuracy. And that's what you get with this. This actually looks really, really good. I love the line work on him, whether it be like, you know, on his back or on his little like crest right here or on his face. Like, everything looks good on this. This looks so good. Then you get the Phantom Ruby itself, which it looks good to me. I like it. I mean, it's gonna be a little big for all my other figures, but when it comes to scaling with the Chaos Emeralds from the 4-inch line, it does a good job of that. So cool. Speaking of, here's a Chaos Emerald to compare it to. I have a green one somewhere. I thought that'd be a better example, but with the 60 seconds I gave myself to look for it, I didn't find it. I found this one though, so that's fine. But yeah, they look really well together. I hope I can get a smaller Phantom Ruby eventually. That'd be kind of cool. But we'll just put that over here for now, since that's kind of necessary. But if we compare this to Tommy's attempt at an infinite figure, this looks bad. You get a lot more emphasis on the eye and stuff like that. You get the better, like, swirls. I don't know, like the little pointy thing in the chest is different too. And the quills just look so much better in the back. Like, at the time, I thought this figure was fine, but now that I actually have something good next to it, oof. I'll still keep this, though, because it looks good next to my Jazzwares collection. This will not look good next to a Jazzwares collection, because, like, if you pair this with that, I mean, it technically matches one of the boss fights where he's, like, super big for some reason. But if you compare these next to each other, then they scale a little bit better, so cool beans. So I'm keeping both. But we gotta compare him to a modern Sonic. And funny enough, I bought another modern Sonic figure because he looked cool, so I bought him. So surprise, second unboxing. I didn't open this guy up yet, so we're gonna do that right now. Comes with a little item ring thing, that's kind of cool, and we got an angry looking Sonic that's gonna match Sonic Forces anyway, so we're gonna open him up. Originally, I bought this for my niece, but then I found something else that I think she would like more. So I'm keeping this one for myself. And for some reason, he has one of his hands tied down. But that's it. Anyway, once we take him out of that, and then take this out, that fell down. Whoops. So now we have a new modern Sonic that I hear is a slightly better figure. I can't tell. But here he is next to his Sonic, and this one matches, you know, Sonic Forces vibes. So good job, Jakks. They look great. And also, these new item capsules, they're so cool. I love this. And I just noticed you have a little peg hole so you can put this on a little stand. Oh. It's so hard for me not to like these figures. They're so cool. But man, look at that. But the biggest thing I like about the Jakks specific figures is their roster of villains. So let's compare them to some other villains. First up, my favorite one, Chaos. Yeah, they look great together. Look at that. But then also one of my favorite villains that we've gotten as a figure, which is very exciting, Mephiles. So it's nice to see both of these as figures. Like, these look so good next to each other. But it makes me wish that I had a 4-inch Shadow figure so I could have him beat him up and be like, yo, you're a baby, you're weak. And he's like, no, I'm not weak. And then it just turns into this guy. But as I was pulling down figures for this video, I did come across the Zavok, or I thought his name was Zavik, but people pronounce it Zavok. I don't know. Point is, I have this figure, and I don't think Jakks ever made a figure of this. Actually, I'm going to check that right now. From what it looks like, this is the only Zavok figure. Huh. Is he worth anything? Last one sold for like 40 bucks. Okay. Cool. So I guess that leads into my next question. What other villains do you want to see in the 4-inch line? Because, yeah, we don't have a Zavok yet. And I'd love to see Sage, if you want to count her as a villain. But yeah, the Jakks Pacific line is so good. I love it. So, getting an Infinite figure? Very neat. But if I'm going to pair this with any figures, it's not going to be my Jakks line. It's typically going to be the Nendoroid. So, I feel like, even though their body proportions are so off and don't really blend into each other that well, I feel like good photo ops could come of this, which is silly. Well, first off, I think it's also funny because you do see the soap shoes in Sonic Forces. But yeah, if you're gonna do a photo shoot, you might as well just get the Jakks figure. But I'm silly. I'm stubborn. The Nendoroid's my favorite, so I literally got this figure because it would look good next to the Nendoroid. That's honestly, I was gonna give this to a friend, but then I said, you know what, I'm gonna keep this because he looks good. But in all seriousness, Jakks did do a really good job bringing Infinite to life, and I'm excited to see what else they're gonna come out with in the future. Although he can't really stand up all that well, he's accurate. He looks really good. So cool. So I guess that sums it up for this video. I forgot, you can't stand up. So if you're new and you like what you saw, you know what to do. I make a lot of Sonic content, so if you think I'm silly and you like my stuff, I do plenty of stuff. But let me know in the comments, who else do you want to see villain-wise? Do you think Infinite's that bad of a character? I don't know. Sound off in the comments, like, who's your favorite villain? That one I'm actually curious of. Who is your favorite villain for Sonic? I'm not sure if Shadow should count, because he was mostly a villain in Sonic Adventure 2. But I do like Shadow. Shadow is pretty cool. But I don't know. I think we're fairly basic. I think... not Shadow. I think Chaos is my favorite villain. Yeah, I'm going to go Chaos. Anyway, thank you for watching. I love you guys to death. And I'll see you on the next one. So peace.